Thank you for joining us today for the virtual grand opening of Riverside Drive, a bridge home interim housing site for families experiencing homelessness. I am Jennifer Hark-Dietz, the Deputy CEO of PATH, or People Assisting the Homeless. PATH's mission is to end homelessness for individuals, families, and communities. As a statewide agency that has operations in more than 150 cities across California and here in Los Angeles, we provide everything from streets to home. This includes outreach, wraparound services, interim housing, and building affordable and supportive housing. Throughout the pandemic, PATH Los Angeles provided support services at 3 isolation and quarantine sites with 600 rooms and 2 emergency motels with over 200 rooms. And in addition to this site today that we're celebrating, PATH has partnered with Mayor Eric Garcetti and his office to open a bridge home interim housing site throughout the city, offering more than 550 new beds since 2019. So we are joined today by many special guests, all of which played a critical role in making this facility a reality for the families that we serve. Riverside Drive features 79 beds for 26 families with 24/7 on-site support for the guests. The site also features a case management meeting area with adjoining children's playroom, a multi-purpose room with a great computer lab, community room, laundry facility, and a dining area where 3 meals and snacks are served daily. So to learn more about the on-site programs and resources offered, I'd like to welcome Tiffany Shirley, PATH's Director of Family Services.
Thanks, Jennifer. We are so excited about our site, and it's going to be a really great opportunity for our families. It'll provide refuge and personalized support for families experiencing homelessness. All of our families will have access to a ton of resources and programs, including on-site case management and budgeting, as well as on-site meetings with housing navigators to collaborate on housing plans and work toward attaining the goal of permanent housing. Families can receive referrals to our mental health and substance use professionals if they choose. And children will all be referred to our education coordinator through LAUSD to ensure that they're enrolled in school and have everything they need to be successful. Families will also be connected to employment services, including on-site meetings with an employment specialist, interview prep and resume building. And we're really excited that we also have an on-site clothing closet for families who are going to do interviews. There will also be regular groups and activities for the families to take part in, as well as community meetings. And I would like to say that we appreciate everyone's support and hard work to make this site a reality. And we are beyond excited about the opportunity to provide our families with the on-site support they deserve and work toward their ultimate goal of attaining permanent housing.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Now it is my great honor to introduce the Mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti. We are so grateful that you could join us to celebrate today.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer. And my love affair with PATH goes back to when I was a council member, and June 15th was my 20th anniversary of public service, 12 of them in CD 13, where I witnessed firsthand, where my wife served as volunteer on the board, where I've gone out on counts where we pushed empty lots and made them shelter, malls, haircutting places, job referrals, where you've pioneered everything from safe sleeping to permanent supportive housing and everything in between. So thank you to PATH for who you are, and Jennifer and Tiffany for your extraordinary work, and the entire team. And what a joy it is to be here with my councilwoman, Nithya Raman, who is councilwoman of the I have to always say kind of second best district because I was council member 13, but we'll tied for the best council district. But CD4 and CD13 are the nearest and dearest to my heart. And I'm so honored to serve alongside you and for you to continue a tradition of humane services, of leading with a heart. And thank you for all that you have done. And the two of us couldn't do it without an amazing county partner in Sheila Kuehl, who I'm sure has been an inspiration to both of us. And she and her team, and the way that county and city more often than not now say, how can we work together instead of throwing the blame as in decades past on each other's plate. We wouldn't be here today without them. And thank you for this truly life-saving and life-changing work. I wish we were there on site, and since it's past June 15th, I kind of feel like we should be on site, but I can't wait. I know the services for the family, sometimes it's better for us to do this virtually, but I can't wait to meet some of the newest residents of Council District 4, and some of them may have be coming from inside Council District 4 or other parts of the city. But this is our 28th site. And to me, it is so exciting to see that these families will have not only a good night's sleep, but the services that Tiffany just mentioned. This is a pathway towards not a new permanent destination here, but a place to stabilize, a place to breathe, a place to connect those bonds within the family and between the family and our city, and to move on to a better and more stable life. I also want to thank our city engineer, Gary Lee Moore, who, when I said, let's build a whole bunch of different modes with different builders, sometimes the city, sometimes private, sometimes existing buildings, sometimes new ones, of shelter around the city. He didn't say, okay, he said, okay, and let me lead it. And you have been extraordinary. You and everybody at the Bureau of Engineering team couldn't do without you. Rich and everybody at the CAO's office could not do it without you. And our council member is an alum of the CAO's office and some of the great work on homelessness there. To the LASA team and Heidi, thank you for the work that you've done to bring today. And I also want to give a shout out to Larry and Ralph Simarusti, who have been friends for decades. And when I read that it was actually their warehouse, I was so excited because they've given so much to the city, and the entire team at L&R Contractors. They have just been a joy to work with, whether it was on Italian-American issues or stepping up to problem solve over the years. They've been dear, dear friends. And thank you to Justin Day and Brilliant Corners team, DNA Architects, and of course, GSD, our department that made things happen if we contribute to every single bridge home project, and every other city department I might have forgotten, like I'm sure contract administration was in here and others. You know, I set a goal for us to have 2,000 beds by 2021. And today I'm really proud that we have 2,156 beds in now 28 bridge home shelters, which have been all built basically in a 3.5-year time period. But 20 of those were built during the pandemic, opened during the pandemic. That's an amazing, amazing thing. And of course, because of CDC guidance, we couldn't compress them with as many people, but now that we can recompress and put people in, we will see over 2,000 Angelinos at any given time have a place they can go to right now as they go to the place forever that they want to head to and stabilize. In the midst of a global pandemic, we doubled down, and our unhoused neighbors, the statistics are pretty amazing. We're less likely to be COVID positive than those of us in housing because of the medical teams that we put forward, the masks that we handed out when people said we were crazy, the testing we brought to the streets, the way that we led with those services to let people, we were pretty sure that folks who were unhoused were the ones that would spread COVID the most and die in the highest numbers. We actually, unfortunately, lost more housed people percentage-wise than unhoused. But we know that it is a pandemic to be homeless, and you are much more vulnerable of dying for all sorts of other reasons, which is why a FEMA level response is so important. And we've been fighting for crumbs for so long. I'm proud of this city, and I get it when constituents say, I'm not seeing anything yet. You are starting though, because we do have these beds, we do have these options. Council offices are doubling down in ways to be able to go out humanely, deal with encampments, and help people have better pathways. And congratulations to Councilwoman on starting that great work with success. And our advocacy is paying off. Where we started with just $10 million, kind of, if you wanted to count it, in a city budget on homelessness, this year it'll be nearly $1 billion in the justice budget that the Councilwoman passed and that I was happy to propose and that they added money to in the council. This is real hope, not just on the horizon, but finally in our hands. And that $1 billion is being matched, unfortunately not dollar for dollar, but still impressively by $1 billion from the state that was just announced over the weekend, where we pushed hard from the 13 biggest cities in the state to get the governor and the legislature to not just put a historic amount, $12 billion into homelessness, but to put a line item for local government of $1 billion. We were hoping for the next 4 years, but we got the next 2. So we'll push after year 2, but the next 2 years, it looks like we'll get $1 billion and we'll get our fair share of that to be able to double down on the work that we're doing on housing, on services, on shelter as well. So congratulations to everybody. 8,000 additional people above and beyond what we usually do were housed during this pandemic because of the good work of things like Project Home Key, Project Room Key. And it's our obligation to continue pushing this until there is a day where we don't see street homelessness in Los Angeles. I no longer know the exact date when that day will be. It is not for the faint of heart. This is the most important work we can do while we push for a right to housing nationally. But in the meantime, LA will lead. Council District 4 is leading. And I'm very proud to see these families come home. I can't wait for them to move out and the next set of families to come until we see no families without a home and a place that they can call their own. So congratulations, and back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. On behalf of PATH, I really want to commend you, Mayor Garcetti, on your vision in creating the Abridged Home Initiative. As you mentioned, this plan gives unhoused Angelenos in every neighborhood a refuge in the community they already know and love until they can be connected to a permanent home, which we're working on. So next, we're going to be hearing from City Councilmember Nithya Raman of District 4.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for inviting me to be here. It's my true pleasure to join all of you today to mark the opening of this site. Obviously, working to solve our homelessness crisis requires us to explore every option to leave no stone unturned. And the remarkable story of this particular site and how it came to be and how it was built through connections and friendships and opportunities into what it is today is really one of those stories that I think is worth replicating across districts and across the entire city. And I want to thank everyone on this call for seeing that opportunity and pushing it forward, because it requires us to chase down every single one of these opportunities for us to be moving forward in the direction that we need to be moving in. I had the opportunity to visit this site. Tiffany took me around. It's beautiful. It's full of bright colors. This was before the families moved in. There's places for people to hang out. There's cushions, there's common areas, there's a playground. It's awesome. It's really beautiful. And I really want to commend you for building a space that really feels like a home for those families that are already in there and that will be moving in there. That takes not just the ability to do the work, but also the heart to make it the kind of place that you and I and all of us would also want to be. And I'm just very grateful to be part of a community that's building that space and to provide whatever support we can from our office to make this successful on an ongoing basis. So much of this was done before I joined City Council. It's a product of years of work and collaboration. And so I feel honored to be included in its final stages. And I just wanted to thank you, Mayor Garcetti, for pushing bridge home options forward. We need all kinds of housing, and shelter beds and interim housing options are also essential. Even as we're looking for more permanent housing options, we need places where people can come in and stabilize. And options like these that serve the variety of needs, because people experiencing homelessness are not a monolith. There are so many different people, there are so many different needs, and this kind of specialized facility is absolutely another essential piece of that work. And so I want to thank you for your leadership there. Supervisor Sheila Kuehl and their office, without county and city partnering together, it's already been said on this call, like none of this can happen. So thank you, Gary Moore, Bureau of Engineering, Heidi and Lhasa for providing that coordination to match families into this site. It's a huge machine that's working together to put it together, and it's just incredible to see all of you work together and to make it happen and to push it forward. And to PATH, of course, for your incredible partnership and leadership in every step of this process. I also just wanted to thank our previous council member from this district, David Rue, for really, kicking this project forward. Without him and without his office's support of it, we wouldn't be seeing this happen today. And so I am grateful for their work and honored to carry it forward today. And I look forward to working with you all as we continue to urgently, comprehensively, and with love and hope address homelessness in our city. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. You have been an invaluable partner with PATH, from your support of this site, which I'm so glad you recognize the colors, because Tiffany and I really loved the color choices as well, to your participation in our online forums, to your office's volunteer work with our Lease Up landlord engagement program. We truly value your commitment, your vision, and your partnership. So as been mentioned today, we know cities alone cannot solve our homeless crisis, and it takes the coordination and collaboration of all levels of government to make an impact. That's why we're so grateful for our partner with the County of Los Angeles. I'd like to introduce now a video from Los Angeles County Supervisor for District 3, Sheila Kuehl.
So glad to be here to celebrate the opening of this new building dedicated to housing families experiencing homelessness. Why do families become homeless? Imagine you're a single mom. Your child gets sick, You need to take some time off work to take care of her. You lose your job. You struggle to make the rent, and you end up without a place to live. Or you're a survivor of domestic violence and you flee your batterer and your home without a dollar to your name. Or your partner dies and you struggle to pay for your family's basic needs on a single income. These are the kinds of life events that lead to families becoming homeless. The Path Families ABH site in Los Feliz will provide a refuge for these families, a safe and supportive environment while they find permanent affordable housing. I want to extend my deepest appreciation to our LA City leaders, Mayor Garcetti, LA City Councilmember Nithya Raman, and former Councilmember David Rue, whose work lit the spark for this project, and to PATH, People Assisting the Homeless, and its staff who have worked so hard to open this site and bring so many families home. And last but not least, I want to share a little known fact. This shelter was made possible because of two LA County residents, brothers and business partners, that saw that there was a need for shelter for people experiencing homelessness and offered the city and the county to lease their property to assist. We can solve homelessness, and we can solve it faster when every resident and every community says, I want to be a part of the solution. So thanks to all of you. Enjoy.
Thank you so much to the supervisor for recording that for us, and to all of our elected officials who are here today. You all play a major role in this work. We also want to acknowledge the hard work and dedication that goes into the planning, the permitting, and the construction of these sites. With that being said, I am pleased to introduce City Engineer Gary Lee Moore. Gary is leading a world-class organization of 950 people. As the general manager of the Bureau of Engineering, Gary oversees the city's planning, design, and construction of public facilities, the city's GIS mapping and programs that regulate private construction and development affecting the public right-of-way. Here's over to you, Gary.
Thank you, Jennifer, and it is so wonderful to be here. And when Mayor Garcetti came to us and asked us, would we be interested in helping, we jumped and leaped at the opportunity. And it's been so rewarding. And now working with Councilmember Raman, and of course, Heidi and Lassa and Pat. You were at the beginning when we've opened up the first bridge home projects. And in this project, working on the floor plans, and then really taking the point inside the city. We have such great partnerships in the city with our Los Angeles Department of Building and Safety, with the fire department, with our city administrative officer. Everybody works together. You don't have to ask. We know the importance of delivering these key projects, and it's just rewarding to everybody involved, and we're so glad to be part of it, and so happy that 79 people will be off the streets and will be housed. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gary. Next, I'd like to welcome Heidi Marston from LASA, the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority. So Heidi joined LASA in early 2019, although her and I have worked together long before that, and has served as the executive director since January of 2020. During her time with the agency, LASA has successfully coordinated the rehousing systems effort to house over 40,000 people. Heidi?
Thanks so much, Jennifer. I'm so proud to be here today to celebrate the opening of this site, especially a site for families, which we know is such a needed resource. I also want to extend my thanks to Mayor Garcetti, to Councilwoman Raman, Supervisor Kuehl, and of course, Path, for all the contributions that made this project a reality. Gary, I feel like our teams are pros at this now, and so it's been so great to collaborate with you on opening all of these sites. And as we've seen from the success of so many collaborative projects like a Bridge Home or Project Room Key or Project Home Key, when we coordinate together with clarity and urgency, we see that we can move faster than we ever thought possible, and we can scale our capacity to help Angelenos across the city and the county. And the 79 beds for 26 families here is a much needed contribution. So while we continue working to bring our unhoused neighbor indoors with sites like Riverside Drive, we need to continue our work together to create more places for people to stay, including in permanent housing. And since the passage of Measure H, LASA, the city, the county, our nonprofit partners, we've built a strong rehousing system. So it's really important to look at all the progress that we've made, housing more people than ever before, and creating more shelter opportunities than ever before, so people can come inside and have a safe temporary place to stay. And we have to, while we've accomplished so much, we have a lot of work to do in the days ahead. And I know that we can meet that challenge together. And I'm really excited to continue all of our work with our partners that are here today to getting our most vulnerable neighbors inside and getting them on the path to permanent housing. So thanks so much for having me, and congratulations.
Thank you, Heidi. For all of us at PATH, we deeply appreciate everyone's participation in today's virtual event. And more so, we appreciate the numerous people that made today possible, from city and county staff to construction teams to the PATH team members that work every day to help people make it home. From a provider's perspective, I'm in awe of the innovation, the collaboration, and the cooperation between all of these partners. It truly takes a village. And from my personal perspective, I'm heartened to know that this site is going to be a special place, a safe place, and a welcoming place for families experiencing homelessness. Not only is this a place with comfortable spaces or updated amenities, healthy meals, it is a place where we are building trust, making connections, and guiding our families to their path to permanent housing. So to learn more about PATH or to support our work, please visit epath.org. And we thank you all once again.
Thank you, Jessica Colosa. Forgot to give you a shout out for the Board of Public Works. Thanks for all your great work too. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Larry Swiderski. I work with L&R Construction. We are the general contractors who built this project.
We've been in business here in Los Angeles for 48 years, soon to be 50. And we've known Mayor Eric Garcetti for several years and his family. Out of the clear blue sky one day, someone came up to me and said, this facility here at 3061 Riverside Drive would make a very, very good shelter for the homeless. I got on the telephone and I called Eric's office. Finally got a hold of him. He sent a whole team of great people out here. They came out, we visited with them, super group of people. They put the package together and it took quite a while. And here we are today with an incredible facility for bridge housing here in Los Angeles.
We're so excited and coming through and seeing the finished product today and kind of living with this project for the last 6 months has really been interesting and very rewarding.
And starting back in September of last year, this is just an open facility warehouse. It took us about 6 months to do the project. And it's just very rewarding to see the finished product and to see, the amount of work that went into it from the subcontractors and the people of the city, Allison and Helene and Joyce at BOE. They also just helped a lot with overseeing the project.
At one point, we were really considering developing an apartment building here, and then I think my brother explained what happened with the council office and the mayor's office, which changed direction for us, and we felt really good about potentially helping the homeless problem in the city of Los Angeles, which we all know is a very serious problem. And any little contribution we can make to make that situation better is extremely rewarding. And to see this completed and how well it's run and PATH, it appears they're just doing a great job, even though they're real new at it at this point, but I think they're going to do actually absolutely spectacular job. I do want to thank everybody, and we're so proud to be part of this project. And I mean, I want to keep coming here and seeing the people live here and just watching how the whole thing functions. It's really very rewarding.
So we thank the city of Los Angeles, we thank Eric Garcetti and his incredible team of people. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for what you did, and I think that this is just going to be just an incredible place for the future of these young families.
Hi families and past staff at Riverside Drive of Bridge Home Families. We want to wish you a warm welcome and send best wishes on the opening of your new site. From our family to yours.